Hey guys, it's your girl Marielle. Welcome back to Friday Night Light Movie Review, where we do reactions and reviews to TV shows, movies, and other digital content. So since you guys are here, you already know what I'm going to ask you guys. Won't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button? To all of my subbies, welcome. To all of my new subscribers, welcome to the family. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. Help the channel get to 400 subscribers. I know that we can do it. Also, don't forget to follow me on my other social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Today, we're going to be talking about Amazon's original kind of docu-series that they have been doing lately. This one happens to be about Mary J. Blige and the 25th anniversary to her album, My Life. So we're just going to really talk about the things that happened in the documentary and what we thought about it and things that we may have not known about her. And so let's just jump into it. So like I said, this is the docu-series on Mary J. Blige for her 25th anniversary of her album, My Life. Now, no matter what age you are, depending on if you got cool parents, older siblings, aunts and uncles, everybody knows about Mary J. Blige and My Life. Now, when that album came out, I was way too young to even have a hint of an inclination on what any of those songs meant. All I know that I could tell you is that my older sister loved it. It got her through some breakups, and the rest of that music was just jamming. Like, Mary J. Blige was just this amazing singer, and not everybody was a fan of it and a fan of hers, but for me, Mary J. Blige is like my top. So it starts from the beginning where, you know, we find out that if you're a Mary J. Blige fan, you pretty much know a little gist about what's happening in the documentary. She was raised in Yonkers, New York, which is New York or whatever. And her parents were married and then they divorced. And that's when her mom moved them to the projects in Yonkers, where she said that they pretty much fought all the time. She said she never wore a smile on her face, so people couldn't try to talk to her or mess with her. And if anybody knows what that feels like, let me know down in the comments section. I know what that feels like. You go to school in the hood and you don't want to make people think that you a punk or you are easy target, so you kind of give them that ice grill. That's pretty much what she was saying. She grew a lot from that young girl being 18, 19 years old when she got signed, when Andre Harrell found her, came to her house because she had did this. Let me know in the comment sections if your mall had this. I don't know. By the time I got old enough, they may have been gone. But she said she recorded an album. Well, not recorded an album. She recorded herself singing Anita Baker's Caught Up in the Rapture. And she said it was in the middle of the mall. You had to do is put your little coins in and you can record yourself singing. I've never been privy to that. That sounds super cool, but that's how Andre Harrell has found her. And then we go fast forward to where she was a background singer, and then Puffy got his hands on her, you know, and then boom, My Life happened. This musical beast happened with My Life, where it's still, if you could buy CDs, like if people were still really buying CDs out here, I really believe that My Life would still be, you know, in that price range where you're like, damn, let me ask my mom or whatever. Like going to the Wiz or going to Radio Shack. I may be aging myself a little bit, but the music was amazing. Every single on that album was so dope. But here's where the documentary got crazy, and not crazy in this oh my god, oh shit, but she talked about how when she became Mary J. Blige, all she wanted to do was take care of her siblings, take care of her mother, and get them out of the projects, not be there anymore, live the life that she felt that they all deserved. So when What's the 411 came out, it blew up. She was featured on a lot of musicians' songs and everything like that. Her family was like, okay, Mary did it. You know, we getting out of the hood. We're going to go someplace where you don't have to be afraid that someone's going to shoot up, or your fucking elevator smells like urine or whatever. But they were excited and they were so happy for her. And this is not a dig on her family at all. What's so crazy is that we love artists and actors and athletes, and on TV and in interviews they sound so happy. And Mary J. Blige was like, I knew I was successful because of the things around me and the reports around me and my fans, but she didn't feel successful inside. Like, when everybody was shining their light on her, she was still hiding in the darkness within herself. So she said, anything to get yourself out of it, you drank, you got high, you did whatever. And it wasn't for the lack that she wasn't the famous person she wanted to be, or she had all this fame. It was because something, like she said, that little girl inside of her just couldn't grab hold of her progress, her change, her success, her evolution. And she battled with that for a long time. And then, she talked about, when you do go through those things, you let other people who tell you they're a light, but they're a wolf in sheep's clothing, which holds her more and more into the dark. With her relationships with Casey from Jodeci, and there was a couple of other guys, even down to her now ex-husband. Never saw her. That was what she pretty much said was the biggest challenge she needed to get over, was she needed to see herself, to see who she was, see what her happiness is. And she knows it's like, that term, everybody, has a cross to bear. You got to carry it with you every day. And then, every day say, I'm going to be better than yesterday. I'm better than I was last week. That's how she viewed her joy. That's how she viewed her happiness. She felt like, okay, I have to tell myself every day in different types of affirmations that I'm enough, that I'm successful, that I'm powerful, that I am an entrepreneur, that I did the things that I set out to do in life, I have completed. And that's saying a lot to someone's mental health. And I think it's a great thing, because especially in the Black community where therapy is not talked about as much, I would like to say in these recent years, especially with COVID happening, a lot more people of color are seeking out therapy. They are seeking therapy with their families, with their spouses, with their loved ones. And I think it's amazing, because that's a huge roadblock in a lot of people. You get too afraid to go to therapists because you think people are going to think that you're crazy or whatever. And she was just hidden. And her music was her sanctuary. Like, her friends and her sisters was like, she was singing everywhere, anywhere. It didn't even matter. That's where she went to escape. And she knew when she did My Life, she was going to sample the song My Life. And each lyric she basically said it touched her in a way very emotionally, where she felt like, they know what I'm going through, and if this song can do this for me, and I can put a song out that can do the same thing to a young man or a young woman, I know that this is my cross to bear. This is who I'm supposed to be. This is the light and the journey and the path I'm supposed to be on. Mary J. Blige in itself, she's iconic. You wouldn't have Keisha Cole, you wouldn't have Ashanti, you wouldn't have a lot of people, because when Mary J. Blige came on the scene, she literally was and is the hip-hop R&B queen. Like, she came out with the tennis skirts, with the fitted hats, with the holes at the top, with the ponytails, and the hockey jerseys and basketball jerseys with Timbs and all. Like, she made it cool to be floating in between hard and soft at the same time. Like, I know my older sister dressed like Mary J. Blige all the time because she was a super duper tomboy, and finding Mary J. Blige not only helped her in her relationships when she was a teenager and whatever, but Mary J. Blige made it so that my sister didn't feel a type of way about showing people who she was, whether it was in the baggy jeans and the Timbs or the J's or the Uptowns or whatever. And if you don't know what an Uptown is, it's the high top Air Force Ones. I don't really know what to say after that. I'm a New Yorker. It's still Uptowns. But anyway, my sister felt like she can be feminine and hard at the same time, and she didn't have to question herself. She didn't have to she just was able to be. And Mary J. Blige did that for my sister and a lot of other women. I mean, like I said, she's iconic. I don't give a shit when no one says Mary J. Blige is iconic. And 20 years from now, you're still going to be jamming to Real Love and all that. So, it is amazing to see this documentary showing her rising from the ashes, out of darkness into this light. And it's still a uphill battle with her. As she said at the birthday party, she was turning 50, and she was like, I'm not going to make a wish. I'm just going to put it in the atmosphere, like, business Mary, entrepreneur Mary, singer Mary, little girl Mary, woman Mary J. Blige. We work on ourselves every day, all day. And I thought that was a great thing. I mean, I love her through the pain and the happiness, knowing that it's an everyday journey. She's an amazing person for that. I mean, even when she was very, very happy and she knew that she was going to lose some fans because they're so used to hearing heartbroken Mary J. Blige, she said it. She was like, I'm going to lose thousands, millions of fans, but I'm going to gain those same fans who said, okay, we're growing up together, and I came out of the darkness, and now I'm happy. I found my place of joy. And she didn't care, and she was right. I mean, Mary J. Blige is still Mary J. Blige. She influenced so many. I thought the docuseries, it was short, so it's not like this huge documentary, but it does show a very fast timeline between the beginning and to her current situation right now. So if you guys have Amazon Prime, I would definitely recommend you checking it out. If you're a Mary J. Blige fan or you're just a fan of docuseries, it's definitely worth the watch. I would recommend it, so you guys should go watch it. So we are at the end of the video. I love the documentary, but I'm a big fan of docuseries, and I'm a big fan of Mary J. Blige. But again, if you are a fan of one or the other, you'll still get something out of it. So what's next up? I'm going to be doing a reaction and a review to Hulu's original movie, Plan B, and talking about Run the World episode 6. So stay tuned for that. And as always, guys, I love you. Be safe and be courageous. See you guys later.